Hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Sippin' on Stories podcast. I'm Mandy Corey, your host, and I'm so delighted that you're here. I am doing so good today. I know at this point you've had to listen to me talk for weeks about me being sick with a cold and me talking about how I can't talk and I sound like a man and all the things. And I'm just feeling so much better today. So I am really happy about that. I'm getting my energy back, which is always nice. And the reason that you have had to hear that so many times is because I actually had to record a few episodes all kind of at the same time while I was sick, because on the day that this is released, I will have gotten back yesterday from a trip down to California with my family. We went for a family reunion, and I'm assuming it was a great time. So I had to get all these done before I left. So on this family reunion trip to California, we are driving. We will have driven there, driven back, which can always be hit or miss on whether that's a good time with a bunch of little kids. Thankfully, our trips in the past, the road trips have actually been really good. My kids do pretty well, and I really like a road trip. I like being able to take in all the different parts of the country, whether we're going through the desert, the mountains, driving past the ocean. Really love that. I don't love heavy traffic, especially down in California. Not my favorite, but the rest of it I really love. And that goes well into today's episode. So this will actually be my first 2-for-1 episode. When I originally thought of this podcast, I didn't exactly know how it was going to go. I knew that I wanted to hear people's stories, but how that happened, I didn't know. And I was like, it will either go one of two ways. I will have one story per episode, which I definitely assumed would be the case at the beginning as I'm trying to get stories and people who will come on. But I also thought it would be really fun for me to have multiple people on each episode to tell a story along with a similar theme. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. I really like the more long form stories because I can just get more detail, which is the whole premise of me wanting to have a storytelling podcast, so I can ask all the details versus, shorter stories. You don't get as many details. There is still some like shock and awe with the shorter stories, but anyway, so there's definitely like pros and cons, and I feel like I will have a mixture of both throughout this podcast. But today will be the first episode where I have 2 interviews, 2 guests telling a story with a similar theme. So, like I was saying, road tripping down to California, I get to see the country. This episode deals with 2 people that got to see the country in a different way, and that is by biking across the country, or being a part of a biking across the country experience. So that's all I'm going to say. Since we do have 2 stories, it is a little bit longer. I really hope you enjoy it. So here you go. First up is Amber.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Mandy?
Good. I am getting over a cold, so of course today my voice decided to be like all raspy and manly. So I apologize for that.
No worries. I didn't know that it sounded otherwise. So
I guess that's true, but I'm very aware of it on my side.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That's no
okay.
fun.
That's okay.
By the way, what is the purpose of your podcast?
So pretty much, I just really like to hear about people's lives and their interesting stories and things that they've gone through. Like, I'm a very nosy person, but I feel like I'm genuinely interested. Anyway. And so I just thought it'd be fun to start a podcast where people just tell me these things that they've done in their life. And it's been really fun and interesting. And so, yeah, it's just for the people that like to hear things that people have gone through. And there's been some like kind of vulnerable things, and then others that are just like fun or random. And so there's just been an array, but it's been really fun. So
that is awesome.
Yeah. So told me that you like had biked across the country. I'm like, yeah, like that sounds really interesting that I'd want to hear about that. So I'm glad that you said you would come on and tell about it. So
no, of course. Yeah. Happy to do it.
So I like I told you, I like to start by asking all of my guests what their favorite drink is. So what would you say yours is?
Whoa, I feel like this is such a lame answer, but it just depends.
It's not lame.
Okay. Typically, I'm just a water, no ice girl. Like
no ice, even in St. George? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been a water, no ice. So on special occasions, homemade root beers wins, but
yeah, there's something real good about a homemade root beer.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And what about you? What's your favorite?
I really like caffeine, and I love Dr. Pepper, but I like it with the creams and the syrup, so that's usually my go-to. But if I have to drink water, I like to put in like a liquid IV or something with it to give it some flavor. I just have a really hard time drinking plain water. So I used to love it, but now I just really struggle with it. So I have to add something in to help me.
That's so funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, I would love to hear all about your story of biking. So I'm going to let you start. If you need like some help questions, I can ask them. Otherwise, I'll just kind of let you tell me about it.
Sure. Yeah. No, happy to be on here sharing about it. People usually start off by asking, like, why? Like, what made you want to do this? And really the inspiration was my grandma. So Grandma Gina is what we called her. She actually passed away earlier this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, she was just an amazing lady and had lived a wonderful life. But she had bicycled across, well, she did Utah to DC a couple times. And so just growing up, I don't even know when I first heard that she had done that, but just kind of from ever since I can remember, I had always wanted to bicycle across the United States because of that. And, like we had talked about it for a while, and finally my brother and I, he's my older brother, Matt, and we were in college at BYU, and just one day we were like, we're just going to do it. Like, let's just do this. Like, we've always wanted to. Life's just going to get crazier. And so let's do it. And so we didn't really train.
You didn't train? That seems like an interesting choice.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, we were both like athletic and fit and exercised, but people were like, oh my gosh, how did you train for that? And we're like, well, we didn't. Like, it's kind of crazy to do something that like long. We just trained along the way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember sitting in Grandma Gina's living room telling her that we were going to do it and that we would be leaving soon, and could we borrow a bike from her? Like, we didn't have our own bicycles, and so, we're like, can we borrow yours? We were going to totally bootstrap the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And originally we were going to bicycle from Provo, where she lived, to the Pacific Ocean, and then like somehow get back to Provo and then go to the Atlantic Ocean. So I like can't really remember the details around that very much, but I remember we started off like that morning that we were headed to California from Provo. We started off and I like didn't even know how to change the gears on my bicycle. So my brother was like showing me how to do it.
It's going to be a long ride.
Exactly. It's like, oh my gosh, here we go. And so, we started biking. We probably only got like 15 or so miles. And then our, Grandma Gina kind of pulled us over. She's like, get in the truck. Like, we're going back to my house. And so we went back and she's like, okay, like, I can't watch you guys do this like this. So she said, okay, I'm going to be your follow car and we're going to do this right. I'll drive you to San Diego, drop you guys at the beach there, and then I'll just follow you the whole way. So it was really fun, really sweet having Grandma Gina, who was our whole inspiration, be willing to give up, a month plus of her life just to follow her crazy grandkids across the United States. So
that is super sweet.
It was, for sure a team effort, and we probably could not have done it without her. So we drove to San Diego, started from a beach there with like, right on the coast there. And we just started biking.
How did you figure out your route? Like, were you able, did you have to take like back roads? How did you know where you were going?
Yeah. So we had, like Googled routes that you could take. And there's like multiple, like people have done this before, which is wild.
Yeah.
But there's like multiple across the country, but it was like, I think it was April, like late April when we left. And so it was going to be way too cold to any of the like central or like northern routes. And so we decided that we had to take the route just right along the bottom of the United States. So we actually hugged the border for a while, like between Mexico. Like I remember seeing the border for like a good chunk of our ride. So we just figured we needed to, it'd be better to have it be hot than to have it be like snowing.
Oh yeah.
So
who wants to ride a bike in the snow? I wouldn't.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to go for it, do it. Research the routes, like bicycling across America, and there's like routes you can take. And we tried whenever possible just to go on the shoulder of the freeway. You're not supposed to. Okay, so we like got kicked off a few times by like policemen who were like, you have to like go on the, side roads. So we a few times like had to hop off and go along pretty like beat up frontage roads. And that was like so much harder to ride on because they, they're not well kept.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever possible, we just hit the freeway and go as far as we could.
And could you see your grandma the whole time following you, or was she kind of aware of where you were and was just nearby?
Yeah, so more that one. So we would start off for the day. Well, so yeah, like we'd start off and then she would drive past us a ways and park up ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
And then wait for us to pass her and like go till she couldn't see us, and then she'd do it again. So she was just kind of like keeping tabs on us the whole time. And it was amazing because every time that we needed like a major drink break or like, like a granola bar or whatever, we'd just pull up to her truck and like take a break.
Have you ever run like any marathons or anything like that?
I trained for a marathon back in college, and like after my 13 whatever mile run, I pulled a muscle in my foot. So
Well, it reminds me of
Yeah,
that
I
because
like,
I've only done half marathons, but I'm like, it was like the aid stations. Like, it's just nice to have them there.
yeah,
So when you're dying, your grandma was an aid station to give you your orange slices or your
yeah,
water or whatever it was that you needed. But that's nice.
totally. Yes. And yeah, I mean, she was like old and not well. Like she was really sick actually her whole life.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm so like grateful that she like gave us the gift of this cool experience because yeah, she like should have been staying home.
Yeah.
And here
Yeah.
she was driving across the country with us. But yeah, so very, very sweet to have her along the way. But yeah, and then like at the end of the day, like whenever we were done, we'd just stop and she'd come pick us up and we'd go stay in some like super cheap gross motel
Yeah.
and then she'd drop us off at the same spot the next day. So, um yeah, like I'm like trying to think if we didn't have a follow car, like wow, how would we have done that?
Yeah.
Because there's some crazy long stretches in the middle of the desert, and that would have been hard to do without someone picking you up when you were just done, you know?
Hmm. Were there ever times like driving through the desert that you're like, what am I doing? Like, why did I do this? Or was it easy to keep going through this whole time? I feel like I'd be like, well, that was a fun few days, but actually, let's pack up and go home.
I mean, it like I think is actually the hardest thing. Well, not quite the hardest thing I've ever done, but very, very hard. There were days when I was like, what the heck are we doing? Like, but more than that, there were days when we were just in awe. Like my brother and I would just, because normally when you travel the country, you're in a car or a plane, but when you're on a bike, you're in it. Like you're in the middle of this and you're like going slow enough that you can just soak in the amazing like scenery and the landscape. So it definitely gave me a bigger appreciation for how beautiful the country is, how like blessed we are to live in such a beautiful land. And yeah, we were just in awe of like the land. Like we went through crazy deserts, we went over mountains. We like my favorite day was driving along the coast in like I think it was Alabama or Mississippi. There's just this gorgeous like white beach coast that we drove along or that we rode along. So yeah, it was just like it was so cool. Like most of the time we were we're stubborn and we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, every once in a while we did have a what the heck are we doing
And would you
moment.
and your brother just have to be like, nope, we're doing this, like root each other on the whole way during those
Yeah,
times?
totally. Totally. Yeah.
So how long would you say, like, from the time you woke up and got on the road to the time you took a break? Like, was it like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.? Like, how long were you going?
Wow, that's a good question. I like can't really remember. It was all day. Like
Hmm.
we rode all day. And so the whole trip took us 5 weeks. And I am like I guarantee someone who is actually like a cyclist and has like good gear could crush our time.
Uh-huh. I
But
think
we
5 weeks
were
sounds like that's pretty fast. I feel like to go all the way across the country on a bike.
no, there's been people do it way faster. But like we just totally like bootstrapped it. We did it so cheaply. We were on borrowed bikes and they were like not road bikes. These things were like hybrid, like almost mountain bike.
Like really heavy and
Bike.
bulky, kind of.
Yeah, heavy,
Hmm.
bulky, like not like a speed bike at all. In fact, we brought along a couple spare bikes that my grandma just had lying around,
Uh-huh.
just in case like a tire blew or whatever. And like we did have a few days where one of our like nicer quote unquote bikes were out of commission. And so I rode this super old like Bianchi bike that was almost like a beach cruiser. And it was like way too big for me. Anyway, it just like, if I were ever to do this again, which I have vowed to never do it again.
Uh-huh.
But if I were to ever do it again, I would definitely get a good bike.
Invest in something that would be a little bit easier. Did you have a lot of hardships, like as you were talking about, like tires popping and things like that? Did you have a lot of things like that happen? I'm like thinking of all the terrain. I'm like, I wouldn't have thought about that.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I like wrote it down actually, I think. We had 7 flat tires between actually between the two of us, we had 6 bicycle flat tires, and then at one point my grandma's truck got a flat tire. So we're counting 7.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, 7 flat tires. Oh my gosh. At one point we actually had like multiple ER visits.
Oh, really? Like from dehydration or something?
No, like so one of them was it was stupid. It wasn't even from biking. It was my grandma's birthday, and so we hung up birthday decorations in the motel room just to like surprise her.
Yeah.
And I was taking down the decorations and stepped off of the bed, and I like rolled my ankle so hard that I thought I had maybe broken it.
Oh no. Yeah.
And thankfully I didn't. It was just like a gnarly sprain. But we like went to the ER to go get that checked out. We also went to the ER at one point because my brother, we had stayed in this, we stayed in these super cheap motels.
Yeah.
And he, so we actually shared a bed because, we gave my grandma her own bed, and then my brother and I shared just to keep costs down.
Yeah.
And I was spared. I don't know how I was spared, but he got covered in like bed bug bites.
Oh, gross.
To the point where his leg was like swollen and looked really kind of scary. And so we went and like took him in to get it checked out, and he like got stuff for it, and it was fine. But it was, like, gotta watch out for those gross motels.
Disgusting.
Yes, totally. And then probably like the worst part of the whole trip was, in fact, this is now like my least favorite place in the world, El Paso, Texas. We were we couldn't ride anywhere along like the freeway or anything. It was just like way too busy of a city. Mm-hmm. So we were cutting through a neighborhood, and out of nowhere, this like dog came running toward me and like barking like crazy.
Uh-huh.
And he attacked me on my bike.
Did he like bite you?
No, he didn't bite me, but he like knocked into my bike, and I got a concussion. And like, I don't remember anything beyond him like hitting my bike. This dog hitting my bike. The next thing I remember, I was like in the truck. They were taking me to the hospital. But I guess like for a while, like I was just like knocked out, and I like couldn't, like I kept repeating over and over and over again, like, where's my shoe? Where's my shoe? And I actually remember like the last time I asked that, like, where's my shoe? I was like in the truck, and so, yeah, I had like a nasty concussion. And so they went and had me like looked at, and we like took a couple days break. But yeah, that was like scary for for mostly them, because I was like out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you think of that, you're like, what would you have done without your grandma? Without someone to take you to the hospital, like your brother's just having to haul you on his back on his bike or something, like what would you have done? I guess you could call 911, I guess, but still.
Yeah. So that was crazy. And yeah, to this day I don't love El Paso.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
No offense to anyone from there, but
how would you eat? Would your grandma go and get you food and then have it in the car, or would you stop along the way at like restaurants and eat while you were going?
From memory, we just had like granola bars and like bananas and stuff for like breakfast and lunch. And then we would just go to somewhere for dinner, like usually a restaurant. And my grandma like loves Mexican food. And we were like right along the border, so we had some really good Tex-Mex.
Oh, I'm sure.
Along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of just like refueled mostly at the end of the day there.
And I'm also curious, were you like, I hadn't ridden my bike for a while, and I finally like got it fixed up and rode like 2 miles, probably was all with my family the other week. And the next day my butt was so sore. So I was wondering, were you so sore when you started, especially knowing that you hadn't been training or anything? What was that like?
Yes, definitely really sore at the beginning. We did go and buy those like shorts that have the built-in pads on your bum. So we each had one of those. And actually, like, I think we each had 2 of them, because every night we would like wash our clothes in the sink and like hang them up to dry.
Yeah, I didn't think about that part either. And then like
we'd have like another pair to wear the next day, and then, you know, by the next day the first one would be dry. So
yeah.
Yeah, but our first day, I think we only did like 40 miles or something.
Only.
Yeah. And then toward the end, we like our longest day, we did 124 miles.
Oh, wow.
But on average, it was something around like 85-ish miles in a day. So yeah, like we definitely built up. You know, I said like this trip was our training.
Yeah.
So like we definitely started slower and just kind of built our way up to cruising.
And would you like listen to music or books, or what would you do to keep yourself entertained through the rides? Or was the like landscape enough to like entertain you?
Yeah, we actually, like, I would have loved to do like audiobooks or something like that. But when you're biking on the side of the road, like we didn't want it to be more dangerous than it already was. A good point.
You can't hear the cars around you or something.
Yeah, like we just were in our own thoughts all day long for 5 weeks. And we would occasionally try and like yell a conversation back and forth to each other. But yeah, it was mostly just thinking and looking around. And I was dating, well, my now husband, I was dating at the time. So I did do a lot of daydreaming about him.
Writing his last name in your mind and thinking of all your kids, where you were going to live.
That's right.
That's cute. He kept you going. That's funny.
He kept me going. And I'm sure my grandma and Matt were just totally annoyed by how much he came up along that trip.
How old were you? I know you said you were in college, but how old were you?
Yeah. Okay. How old was I? It was in 2012, and I was born in 91. So I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. So you started in San Diego. What was the ending point?
Yes, we ended in Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Okay.
So, and that was like honestly, the ending was my favorite part looking back. Like the ending was super hard, but just such a like cool moment for me. Um, so we only had 5 weeks to complete the thing. Because my brother had to get to an internship, like, which is important. Like we were
Yeah.
in college and he had to get to an internship and I actually had an internship too, but like a week later, so I wasn't quite as like on a time crunch as he was.
Yeah.
But like we had to finish. Like we were looking at, like we didn't have any more days to spare. And we were on our last day. Like we had like on our second to last day, we were in Florida and it like that night we were looking out the motel window just staring at this sheet of rain falling. Like yeah, it was a tropical storm that had almost reached hurricane status. Like it was just a few like miles per hour wind away from hurricane status. And we're like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this?
Yes.
Like,
oh no.
How are we gonna finish? And so we got up the next morning knowing that it was our last day that we could do it. And like I remember riding off and we were crossing over this bridge and I just kept getting blown over. Like I kept getting knocked off my bike from this crazy wind. And I was like crying and
Of course, I would be bawling.
It's like, yeah, I was like, here we are. We have worked so hard to accomplish this goal. And here is like literally something like a force of nature outside of our control that is going to stop us from like accomplishing what we've worked so hard for. And then like the story of where Jesus calmed the wind and the waves for his disciples sprang to my mind. And I thought about how he calmed those wind and the waves for his disciples. And I knew that if he could do it for them, that he could do it for me and for Matt. And so I started to pray as hard as I was pedaling, and I just prayed like for so long. Like I was just praying. And we made it. Like we ended up making it to the coast. And like the winds calmed enough and like the rains calmed enough, and like I don't know like a ton about like tropical storms and how they work and stuff. So I don't know like how miraculous it was or not, but I definitely felt blessed.
Like it was a miracle kind of.
Yeah, it was our miracle. He literally calmed our storm. And yeah, reaching that coast was just like a huge testimony builder for me.
Yeah.
That God's there and he's listening and that he helps us through the hard things in our lives. And he didn't like float us across the storm. So
Yeah.
it was still hard and it still took a lot of work and effort. But we made it.
That's powerful. Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a good day reaching the Pacific Ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. So,
did you drive back or did you guys, well, yeah, I guess you would have had to because of all the bikes.
yeah, so I think I'm trying to remember if Matt drove back with us or if he had to fly off. But my cute grandpa had flown in for like the end of it, like Grandma Gina's husband.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we call him Pops. And so he joined us for like the last few days. And so he and Graham and Gina and I think Matt wasn't with us. I think he flew. We kind of just road tripped back to Utah together. So, yeah.
That's such a cool experience that, yeah, I would have no desire to do that again. Well, I don't have a desire to do it in the first place, but
You know what? It's like enough time has passed that I'm starting to think about, well, okay, so I actually have a twin sister.
uh-huh.
And she has type 1 diabetes.
As do
And
I.
so oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm like,
Are you serious?
but yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So yeah, my identical twin has type 1, and we decided that we were gonna do it for her. So
Uh-huh.
we throughout our bike ride, we like gathered like donations for JDRF is what it was called at the time, the
Yeah,
Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So we raised money for JDRF and
that's
like,
so cool.
you
How did you
know,
do that? Did you just like post it on, like, what was around in 2012? Social media was still a thing. Did you just like post about it on Facebook or something, or how did you get those donations?
yeah, we had like a blog at the time and we had yeah, some like app on the blog that like gathered the donations for us.
Oh, that's really cool.
So like people could donate to the cause and like we would give them like a shout out on the blog for donating. We had a lot of like anonymous donors too, which was really sweet.
Yeah.
And we didn't like raise that much. Like, you know, obviously we didn't like our contributions didn't find the
You
cure,
cured diabetes.
but we raised thousands of dollars.
That's awesome.
And, you know, like we got interviewed by local newspapers along the way. And so we'd like tell them that we were, you know, writing for type 1 diabetes. And actually, um, last year, my son got diagnosed,
Oh,
with type 1. And so I actually want to, maybe someday do it again with him. I
that
think
would be
that'd
really
be
cool.
cool.
I'm like getting teary eyed myself over here. Like that'd be really sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows if we'll ever make it happen, but I think it like I don't know, maybe come full circle.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be
So
like a
yeah,
whole
we'll see.
new, different set of challenges biking with type 1 along the way. Like that would be a learning curve too, but that would be really cool.
Yeah, totally. We'd have to maybe get a follow car
Yep. Yep.
for that. Who knows? Maybe we could rope her into doing it this time, but definitely better bikes,
Mm-hmm.
more rest breaks for, you know, Johnny's his name and because yeah, you can't keep going if you're too low. So
Yep. Yeah. And it could be
yeah.
like, it's back to like running a race. I'm like, I always tell myself after a race, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Like, great. I'm proud of myself, but I'm never doing that again. And then lo and behold, next year I've somehow forgotten all the really hard things. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that again. And then I think the same thing. So maybe it's just been far enough out that you're like, okay, yeah, we can do that. Maybe one
It's
day.
true. It's
Yeah.
like motherhood too, right? Like you forget
Yes. Yes. That's
somehow
exactly right.
people have more than one kid
I know.
sometimes.
Somehow I have 4 and I'm like, I don't know how I did that, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Do you have any pictures
that's
of you, or you had mentioned like news articles? Like, do you have any things like that that maybe you could send me and I can see? That would be really cool.
yeah, oh, for sure. We'll send you some pictures. Yeah, I'll have to go dig them up and find them, but yeah,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll do.
Well, thank you
Yeah, for
for
sure.
coming on and telling me this. I don't know. Is there anything else that you could think that you wanted to add to that?
I mean, that's kind of the story.
Yeah.
Like it was a while ago, so a lot, you know, like like most of the
forget.
details,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, are gone. But it was wild, and I would just like say like if you have some like crazy goal, like just do it.
Yep.
Like just go for it, because life's gonna pass anyway, and it's cool like having like anytime like my husband and I are slightly competitive, and anytime like he's done something cool, I'll be like, kids, but just remember which one of us
Biked across the country. Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's just like I don't know. I think I've rolled this like just action orientedness into more of my life by just going for it. Like go for the goals. Obviously, like there's practical life that gets in the way of a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's just like just deciding to go for it. So
yeah, you opened like a studio or exercise studio or something like that, and I was like, that's so fun. That's like just a fun thing to do.
Thanks. Yeah. Also, like I've got some books published.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. She
I
told me
don't
about
know.
that too. You're just awesome. Like you really are.
Well, I'm really not. That's the thing. I'm just like a regular person, but I do feel like I don't know, just like carpe diem, like go for it. Like go for your goals, just like, and you can like in 5 weeks bike across America too.
Maybe. Yes.
Like if I can do it, anyone can do it. Because yeah, I'm not that cool or that great. So
I choose to differ, or but I think you're pretty cool. So, well, thank you for coming on and telling me all about it. It was really interesting for me to hear about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thanks for listening. You're so cute to want to hear the story. And I think it's really awesome that you're doing this. This is your, like, being a woman of action. You're,
I guess that's right. I just went and go for it. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. So good job.
Well, thank you. Well, you have a great Sunday.
Thank you. You as well.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Mandy.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Amber.
Bye-bye.
That was definitely fun for me to ask Amber all the questions about her time riding her bike across the country. And now we get to hear from Dustin, who tells a story from the other point of view, which was being in the follow car instead of the one riding the bike. So, since I like to talk about drinks on this podcast, here's a little game for you. As I was editing this episode, I kept getting caught up with how many times I said the word yeah. So, if you feel like having a little drinking game, whatever, if I had my soda, I would just take a sip every single time I heard me say yeah. And I may need multiple sodas to get through this half of the episode. But I apologize. Regardless, here is Dustin for his story. All right, well, I'll ask you the question I ask everybody, which is, what is your favorite drink?
It is Henry Weinhardt's root beer.
I don't know if I've tried that.
It's so good.
Is it in a glass bottle?
It is.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It's so good. It has a little bit of a head on it, which is really kind of fun. And just the taste is just, it's not too sweet, but it's like really got a lot of flavor. So
where really can you find that?
Usually in the like Albertsons or whatever.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that.
Their cream soda is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I feel like anything though in a glass bottle is already just good.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
it's good.
Okay, so I know I told you like I had one interview about biking across the country, but I'll just talk completely about yours. So, yeah, I'll just let you start.
Okay. So I don't know how long it was, probably 15 years ago. I have a friend who actually biked with his family from Star, Idaho to Chicago. And they did it as a family. Their whole point, they have a daughter who has a very rare disorder. And so they kind of did it as a little bit of a fundraiser or whatever, to be able to help the doctors. They were doing it to kind of help people that couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was that their daughter had?
I don't, but basically, like her skull and I think her bones just doesn't grow.
Oh,
like
okay.
It's really interesting, and so they would have to like expand her. They had these knobs that would expand her skull, and then like it would grow, and then kind of they'd have to expand it some more.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Ow,
that sounds very painful.
Oh yeah. And they had many surgeries and stuff, and so her face, like she'd grow into her face, and then like it'd go all sunken in and grow, and it was really interesting.
Yeah. You said this was a friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I this was a friend when we lived in Star, and so they loved, after that they discovered they really liked to do the biking thing. And so their oldest son and his dad, Corey is his name, and Corey Hoffman, they like to do a ton of biking. And then they got this idea of basically, let's bike on this race across America. So it's called the Ram. They do it every year. I still think they still do it, but it's basically where you go from Oceanside, California, so right on the beach there, to Atlantic City. And it's, I think it's 3,052 miles.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. And so they had a family member that was also interested. Like it was the 15-year-old's uncle. And and then one other person, a friend of his, and they were a 4-man team. And it was like in the middle of June, and they basically were in this race. And this race, there's actually soloists. There's 2-man teams, 4-man teams, and 8-man teams. And the class that we had 4-man teams had 15 teams.
Okay.
And so, and part of that was you had to have 2 other vehicles. One was a follow car that followed the rider the entire way. And then you had an RV that was a support vehicle. The RV was and then another vehicle that the riders were in. So,
is this like they were 4 parts? So one person would ride, and then they'd take a break. Someone else would take over.
Correct.
Okay, so kind of like a Ragnar.
It was a relay race.
Okay,
but somebody was on the bike the entire time. So. They would typically ride 45 minutes to 2 hours, depending on where they were.
Yeah.
And so we had another vehicle that was, the RV vehicle was basically for the staff. So the way that it worked is we had 2 8-hour shifts, and it was all assigned, were you in the follow vehicle? Were you in the RV? Were you, in the support vehicle for the riders? So it kind of just switched around. So it was long days.
Yeah.
Of
how did you get into
out,
being into like the helper?
So he asked me because I was a friend of his, and I also was working by myself at the time, so I was able to take the time off.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it was nice because it was about 10 days, I think. And by the time you get all the way down there and all that. So we started off in Oceanside, Oceanside, California, and beautiful down there. I don't know if you've been down there, but it's by San Diego.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Like it just took off. They did it in different. So everybody was in the same, like, all left at the same time. So soloists, 2-person teams,
Oh, yeah.
4-person teams. It was an absolute crazy nightmare at first.
Oh, yeah.
There was
then
tons of riders.
And then there's a ton of cars all following you too.
Yeah, and trying to find a spot was just crazy.
Yeah.
And so, and we actually, the follow car, almost right off the bat, I don't know how this happened, but got a flat tire.
Oh, starting off really good.
And yet, like, none of the bikes had any flat tires.
The entire time?
way.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, if you're going to have anything get a flat tire, maybe right at the beginning,
Yeah.
the car, get it out of the
Better-
way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way. So, so it was good. So we took off. It was really chaotic, crazy at first. But as time went on, the riders got further and further
distance.
apart.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where you didn't see anybody for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, I think that's another one, and we're going to pass them. So you'd pass them, right?
Were these on like back roads, right? Or not
Most
like the
of
main?
most of it was on highways or back roads. I think there was a couple of times where very short time where you were on the freeway, but it was very rare because it's really dangerous on the freeway.
Of course.
I mean, it's actually pretty dangerous, like even on the highways and stuff, but they tried to avoid it. Like, they avoided going through major cities and stuff. So I remember, for instance, we went past Vegas. You could see the lights off into the distance, but
You never got there.
never there.
Yeah.
You're going to cross the desert,
Yeah.
right? And so they had it all planned out exactly where to go. You followed the GPS, and that's the way you went. So there's a couple times, you go the wrong way.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't think I'm supposed to be down there, and you turn around and go back, right? So, but I thought it was such a good opportunity to be able to do something unique in my life and something I wouldn't ordinarily do. So I couldn't pass it up, even though it was basically 10 days that I was going to lose some revenue, some income, but I think it was really well worth it because, it was a hard thing to do. And I wasn't even on the bike.
Yeah.
Like, it was physically taxing. Even if you're in the follow vehicle, you're basically following somebody 8 hours.
Yeah, like you have to be alert.
Totally alert. You're only going 20, 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, that would feel real long.
And you really want to keep going. Like, come on, let's go.
Yeah. How many people were in your vehicle with you?
So if you're in the follow car, it's 2 people. So
Okay.
the driver and one other person. If you're in the sport vehicle for the riders, there's 2 people. And then you have 2 people that are in the support vehicle, but everybody else is asleep. Like, so that was the reason you had the RV, so your support people could fall asleep.
Yeah.
And take 8 hours of nap time. And you think like, oh, I can't sleep. You fell asleep. It didn't matter what time of day it was. Yeah. You fell asleep. But like, I'm just going to call my wife real quick. And then like, I'm just so dead tired, sweetie. I got to go to bed. But, one of the things I really loved about it was being able to see the country at that pace.
Really take it in.
Really take it in. I remember one particular time I was going across the Arizona desert, and it was probably 3:00 in the morning, maybe 4. The sun, you could kind of see on the horizon, that it was about ready to start peaking, coming up, right?
What time of year was this?
So this was June.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and I just love that stillness. Like there's something about, there's nobody around for miles and miles, and and you can just be waiting. You're just waiting for the biker to come. And I remember just being outside, and it was the cool breeze, slight breeze, and you could kind of in the background hear like animals start to move around, you know, in the desert, right? And it was there was something so surreal about it, you know, and just almost like a spiritual moment.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Being one with, you know, God and nature and everything, and just
taking in the beauty for like exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and you normally don't think of deserts as being beautiful, but they absolutely are, you know, with all the cactus and all this stuff. And it's just, there's a lot more going on out there than you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a neat moment. You know, so you got to see the progression of the land. I mean, as we came across, you know, the Mojave Desert and stuff, and just, you know, so dry and so hot.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it got up to like 110, and then you just like go into the Arizona desert, and then it starts, you know, to kind of change into the flatlands. You know, you know, we went through Kansas, we went through, you know, all that. Kansas was hard because there was a side wind for about almost constant, and sometimes it would gust up pretty good, but it was like a good 30-mile-an-hour winds just blowing on the side of the riders.
Oh, wow.
And so they're constantly fighting that.
Yeah.
Headwind is bad, and rear is awesome, right?
Oh, of course. You'd love to have it rear wind the whole entire way.
Yeah. But side, you're just constantly fighting against
That'd be
it.
so tiring.
Yeah. It was so hard. And they lost a little bit. I mean, during that time, they were going about probably 18 miles an hour as opposed to 25. They would get about 22, 25 miles an hour. So, and just kind of, the fun part was, another fun part was going over the Rockies.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But that's like, that one was really busy because, we thought about, well, how do we want to do this? And we came up with the idea, well, let's just have riders be on for 15 minutes because they're going pretty good
uphill,
grade.
yeah.
And so that was hopping because you've got to go ahead, wait for your rider, and you have to guess like how far
where they're going to be.
Minutes.
Yeah.
And so you go ahead and you get down the bike. You get down, you get your rider, get him ready, and as soon as, you know, the person passes, you get the rider off the bike, you get it, put it back up on top, you know, and then you go as fast as you can because, you know, and then you pass your rider and then you go to the next part, and it was just like boom, boom,
so
boom,
busy.
boom.
Yeah.
Until we got to the top. And then it was like he cruised down, and there was no switching riders at that point. Just
one lucky person got.
Yeah, exactly, all the way down.
Yeah.
So that was really fun to watch that and experience that. I thought one of the fun parts was falling asleep and then waking up and going, okay, where are we?
Yeah.
Right? We usually pass a state or two or whatever, you know. And so the idea was we were doing about 500 miles a day, almost. And so it took about 6 days. Now, here's the thing. We had decided as a group to keep the Sabbath day holy. And part of that was on Sunday. And so we said, okay, we're going to stop at this location. And it was like 7 or 8 at night. And I think it was near St. Louis, if I remember correctly. And we were like, okay. And then 24 hours, we're going to go again.
Yeah.
And we stopped completely.
Was the whole group LDS?
A good part of them. Yeah. And here's the kicker. So we were in third place. So out of 15 at that particular time.
Yeah.
One of the riders was not LDS, but he agreed to it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, he said, okay, we'll do that. because it's really just about fun and stuff, but your competitive nature kicks in.
Oh,
right?
when you're in third place, you're like,
we could do
I
this.
changed my mind.
Yeah, exactly. And you kind of keep track of where everybody else is, because they have checkpoints, and you can ask, like, where's this person, where's this group, or whatever. And we knew we were close to second, and probably not going to get to first, because they were almost a whole day ahead by that time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think so. But we were like, we could get second place. It was pretty exciting, right? And so, but we decided, we was like, no, we're not going to do that. So the one guy was a little bit upset about it, but that was what he agreed to. And we stopped for 24 hours. And
did everyone just like chill for that 24 hours?
Totally chilled. Yeah. Just crashed, in the hotel and just relaxed and everything. And actually, I think because we rested, it really helped.
Like rejuvenate you, kind of.
And so we, after like that Sunday evening, so we did 24 hours. So that Sunday evening, we took off again. We had a little devotional on Sunday and stuff, and that was kind of neat. And we took off again, and so now we're in 15th place.
Oh, okay. Oh, that'd be so daunting.
We're all the way back, right? Because there's 15.
Yep, that have kept going.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And so we take off again, and we pass all the same people we already passed.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're like, what in the world happened?
Yeah,
right?
Something bad really happened to those guys. Yeah,
exactly. Like their car broke down or something like that, right? Well, and as we come in, we actually got up to 6th place.
Well, yeah. So
we actually did pretty well. And the media was all over it. They're like, what? You stopped? We heard you stopped, for 24 hours. And so they were asking about it, and they just thought we were nuts.
Yeah. I can imagine why.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing this race.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but, and as we come into Atlantic City, I remember our rooms weren't ready yet because we came in the morning, and rooms typically aren't ready till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And it didn't matter. We just crashed in the lobby, and so we finally like get a room. And like, I remember one time in particular, a friend of mine that I was with, he like kind of laid down on the bed, and I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, came back, and he was snoring. He was already out.
Yeah.
So we
was exhausted.
Slept really good that night.
Yeah.
So, but it was, just the whole experience was just so good because it was hard for one. And that's really rewarding, right?
Yeah.
And then you get, like I said, you get to see the United States at that pace, and then the beauty of it and all the differences. You start seeing all the trees in the Midwest, and it just starts building as you go more east.
Yeah.
And so, and then just knowing, okay, I can do hard things, right? And then the other part was we stuck to what we decided we were going to do.
Yeah.
Having that integrity, know. And so that was a good learning experience for me, but to do that.
What was it like to watch the bikers through it too? You said the youngest was 15.
Yeah, 15, and that was a big deal because I think he was the youngest that they'd ever had in that race.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
Yeah. He struggled a little bit, but he did really good. It was hard, really hard. I think more mentally than physically. Even though they did take in about 8,000 calories a day in order to fuel themselves.
It wasn't you that were feeding them. It was a different vehicle.
So basically what it was we would put it in their vehicle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just whatever. Like we would make dinner and then get it to them somehow. So that was a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, I mean, they had boxes of bananas and just,
granola bars and things, I'm sure. Yeah.
As much as they could. And that was kind of a challenge to make sure they had enough food to fuel themselves. And bathroom breaks were hard.
Yeah, I was thinking, when are you stopping for gas and bathroom breaks? Like all the things, like if you're having to stay in front, figuring that out would be, especially if you're on like a back road, like figuring out when is a gas station going to come up. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you constantly had to worry about that. And so sometimes the follow car would have to leave, go get gas, come back, you know, stuff like that. But it was absolutely draining on them.
Yeah.
Just a really tough thing at first. They're enjoying it and stuff. But then you get to a point and it's just kind of an automatic thing, almost like a dream, Yeah. And you just push yourself. Oh, one more ride. One more ride. So pretty difficult.
That's really cool. Do you think it's something that you would want to do again?
For certain.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could, but I'd want to.
Yeah. Did you know, like, the person that was in your car with you? Like, that's a lot of time to spend with one person.
Some we knew and some we didn't. Some we got to know really well.
Yeah.
A lot of them actually that helped were kids actually.
Oh, really?
That had just graduated high school. And before they, went off and did college and all that, they had that summer.
Yeah.
And so they had time on their hands and was able to do it. So those kids were amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of energy. I'm sure they were great.
Of energy. Like, how do you guys do this?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Whose idea was it? Was there one person that started we're going to do the 24 hours?
I think it was Corey Hoffman.
The dad?
The dad.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it was really important for him.
Yeah.
It was important for him to do that and to teach his son that it's important. So.
And was the one guy that was like, oh no, like, let's keep going. Was he okay in the end?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be able to pass all those people, that's a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got it. Like, okay, it is just a race. And
like, you're still getting the entire experience.
Yes.
Like, you can't take back, like, it's not undoing any of the big accomplishment.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's a race that a ton of people know about.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah. It's an amateur race. It's not professional, you know. And so I imagine if it's professional, you'd have people that were going 35, 40 miles an hour,
Yeah.
Just a lot faster, but
did they have like a finish line?
They did.
Or did you see any like the solo riders? I'm like curious if they're...
Oh man, yeah. So we actually had one solo rider that was delirious.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, he was, and he got off his bike, and we had our RV there near him, and he was like, he got off his bike, and he was trying to get into our RV, and like. His helper was like, no, get back on the bike, just
oh man,
and because they ride 20 hours.
Yeah, that's a ton.
20 hours a day. They're required. They actually had like little hard drives on their computer, on their bike that tracked their GPS and how much time they were on the bike. And
they're required to be on there for 20 hours?
They aren't, but they can only be on it. They have to stop 4 hours out of the 24.
Okay.
So they almost always pushed it to the limit.
Of course, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So they're on their bike 20 hours, and then they sleep for 4, and they're up, and they're on their bike another 20 hours.
Man.
So they had the hardest time.
They're a different kind of people.
Yeah.
A different breed. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like at night, we lengthened out like our riders so that they would get about 6 hours of sleep, 6 to 8, depending on how they do. But, so you'd have one rider that was like on for 2 hours. So and that's challenging too, because riding at night is, even though it's cool, there's I think it's a lot more lonely, right? Because you're just out there, you just got your little headlights.
Can't see anything around. You're just in your thoughts.
Anything. Yep, exactly. And so I think that was a little bit tough for the riders. I remember one night, he was going through a town, and it was raining cats and dogs, and I just felt so bad for
I didn't
him.
even think about what kind of weather did you experience?
We got it all. The heat, the cold, the rain. So it got it all.
Yeah.
The wind. I told you about that. Kansas was awful. Just constant wind.
Tornadoes.
Yeah.
But so he was in the rain at night?
Yeah, at night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just getting drenched.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Just getting drenched. So, when that happens, you have change of clothes, right? But still, you have to change the clothes. And the quarters, where the riders were was a converted kind of a 15-passenger size van.
Yeah.
And it had a bed in the back. It was small though. They were cramped.
Yeah.
Like they just got a few hours a wink,
Yeah.
So, but we actually had one rider who was really having a hard time sleeping, and so they put him in the RV for a while. So he was like the oldest one. I think he was in his 50s. So, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah,
that
it
he was
is
able to do that. So.
Also, 15-year-old, 50-year-old both.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
That's really a challenge.
Yep, it was. So.
Well, cool. So the biggest takeaways is just being able to take in the country and keeping your promise to yourself and that.
And then also to know that I could do something.
Oh yeah,
something hard, and finish it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's kind of something that, I occasionally think about. You can do hard things. So
yeah, it's nice to have things like that to look back on.
Yeah. It's good.
Well, thanks for sharing that story, Dustin.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. It's been, well, yeah, because I knew I was going to interview the other girl too. And I was just like, what are the chances that like two people would have something that I'm like, that's such a like niche experience. Like how do I know two people that are like not the exact same, but similar type of thing? Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay. Well, have a great night.
Thank you.
I'll be
Appreciate it.
seeing you around.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed hearing both sides, both experiences of two people who had very similar experiences in their life, biking across the country or being the one to follow the bikers across the country. I ended up telling Dustin after I recorded with him that now I feel like there are probably everybody in my life has done this, because like, what are the chances that two people would both do something very similar? Also, I found it interesting that Amber and a couple of the people that Dustin had followed, he mentioned they had done a previous bike ride, but they both rode for a cause, which I thought was awesome. I know I obviously say this in the episode, but I really did get like teary-eyed when Amber was talking about how she and her brother Matt decided to bike for a cause for their sister who has type 1 diabetes. And then again, to talk about her son having type 1 diabetes and maybe doing a bike ride with him. I was just like, that is so powerful to me. And obviously really means a lot to me because I have type 1 diabetes, and it really is a challenge, and it's a hard thing that a lot of people don't know much about, and it can feel really lonely sometimes. And so just to have somebody who has experienced it, not personally herself, but with people that she really loves, and to just make her write about that, I just thought was really cool. And then the Hoffmans that, Dustin was talking about, writing for a cause as well. I was just like, wow, people are really cool. But I was just like, apparently everybody does this. And so obviously it makes me curious if there are any of my listeners who have done something like this or know of anybody that did this. Actually, when Dustin and I, and my husband, we were talking afterwards and realized that we know the family that he was doing it with. Not the specific, well, yes, we are familiar with that family. And it was just, the world is so small, you guys. It really is. So, but yeah, it made me want to find a way to experience the world in a way that they both got to experience it by just being able to take in the beauty. There have been a few moments in my life that I can think of where I really just was able to take in the beauty of the scene around me. And man, like, it stands out to me. I know how beautiful that can be. And I did love that each of them had some sort of spiritual experience, testimony builder, something with that on their ride. I think that that's also really cool because it gives it another purpose for doing something like this and makes something that's so hard feel worth doing. So I really love that for them. I probably won't ever bike across the country. I will probably, well, not probably. I'm planning to run another race this year, you guys. So like I said, I forget every year. So I do plan to do that. So I'll let you know when that happens. Anyway, have a great Tuesday. I will see you here again next week for a new episode of the Sippin' on Stories podcast. Goodbye, everyone.